Welcome back to the Central Valley Buzz, everybody. I'm your host, Chuck Leonard. Billy.
Yeah.
Let's bring in our next guest, Eddie
Papoulias.
That's it. How's it going, man?
Nice to meet you, Chuck.
Eddie from Pappy Seasoning. How's it going?
It's going well. How about you?
Really good. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Eddie, are you a Bullard Knight?
I am.
You're a Bullard Knight.
I am.
You know, I would say about Bullard Knights, the only school in the Fresno Unified School District that learned the metric system.
Yeah.
You guys know what I mean. Okay, so you go to school at Bullard.
Yeah.
And how long after you get out of high school that you start the Pappy Seasoning?
Well, my father passed away my senior year, and shortly after that, 19 years old, I went to my mother and asked for some investment money, and started Pappy's with a $30,000 investment at 19 years old.
Your mom gave you 30 grand?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Trusted me enough. I had a vision, and I just said I need some money, and she said, "Tell me your vision," and basically explained my vision to her, and she says, "Let's run."
So everybody's tried the Pappies.
Thank you.
Was it the shaker? Was that the first
original,
one?
Yeah, the original was the Pappy's Choice
Let me see
Seasoning.
that.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
the original.
I don't think I've ever held one this big.
Yeah, that's a 2-pounder. That's the 2-pounder.
Yeah. That's the 2-pounder. Okay. So tell me the story of how you made this.
Yeah, so my brother Keith and I got together after I came up with the idea and went to my mother for the investment money, and we took my father's old seasoning that he had, and we took the MSG and preservatives out of it, and we came out with Pappy's Choice Seasoning.
So your dad would make this at home?
My dad actually made it at Pappy Meat Company. My father owned Pappy Meat Company for 35 years.
Okay, I didn't grow up here. Where was that at?
Cedar Lane's Bowling Alley, which is no longer there anymore.
Wow! You know, I was at Cedar Lane's Bowling Alley when I was a kid. I was 12 years old. I saw a guy's glass eye get knocked out in the parking lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
They took apart a history of Fresno away. Cedar Lane's Bowling Alley was.
Did you get any of it?
We didn't. I wish I could have got a little bit of the lane.
A little plank?
Yeah, the lane. Sure.
Nice. Now, so your dad has this meat
business,
Meat
wholesale
butcher
breaking
block?
plant. Yeah, no, it was a wholesale breaking plant. So we sold to all the restaurants from here to Northern California all the way into L.A. My dad had a very large meat business in the early 60s and 70s, and in the early 80s he passed away.
So what? He's giving his buddies the Pappy Seasoning on the
Yeah,
side?
his goal was always to take the seasoning and export it to Japan, because Japan, we're becoming larger consumers of beef products.
Right.
And he thought this would bring good flavor along with the meat and so on and so forth. Back when my father produced beef, it had marbling.
Right.
Today they've taken...
That was the good meat.
Yes.
Right? The one with the fat in it.
They've taken all the marbling out of meat, and that's why I believe our business has become so successful. Is people like flavors. Mm-hmm. People want to try new flavors and try new things. So that's why we've come out with so many different new items. But
I moved to Fresno. Two things I find out like the first week I'm here: tri-tip, Pappy's.
Yeah.
You know. So
my dad had a great saying, and I don't know if we can. Chickens, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken crap. I'll say it that way.
Okay. Yeah, we can handle that, I guess.
Yeah.
So you start out with this.
Yeah.
And does it catch fire immediately?
No, it took a while.
How did you get it out there?
We were
How did
kind of
you tell people
grassroots.
about
I had a
it?
brother, Keith, and I went around in a little pickup, and we'd go to each individual store. And this is the greatest story ever. The first 100 stores I went into, every guy knew my father. They were, I loved him. Come on
Awesome.
in. Bring it in, kid.
Awesome.
No problem. I'll take 2-3 cases. I got to the 101st guy, and I'm like, I'm high as could be. I've got 100 yeses, no nos. I'm thinking I'm the you-know-what.
Right.
I walk into this other guy. He goes, I couldn't stand your dad. Get this crap and get the hell out of here.
Oh, really?
So
brought you down a notch, right?
Reality, yeah. But
did you ask him, so exactly what was it you didn't like?
no, I didn't. I just walked out kind of dejected, holding my head a little bit. And
You big jerk.
yeah, exactly. And then, I was still pretty young at the time, too. But
Well, that's when it hurts, right?
It
Is
did.
when you're
It
young.
did.
After a while, you get used to
But
it.
grassroots, we were very much grassroots. We went around to each individual, and back then, a lot of independent grocery stores. Today, it's all major chains. Back then, you could go into Gong's or any one of those, Foodland or whoever.
Talk to the manager, and he could write the check.
And he'd write it right there.
Or you give him the invoice and take it to the lady and get the cash right out of the drawer.
Absolutely. So we went to Bakersfield. We got into Bakersfield stores. We did all the Valley stores first, and then to Bakersfield, and then we got our big shot. Vons came to us. The Vondra family, my buddy knew, got us an appointment with them. We went in and saw them, and they took us on. And then from that point, Save Mart and the rest of them came on. But what's neat about our business today, Chuck, is we're so diversified. You know, in the early days, all we did was spices. Now we do spices, we do marinades. We divisionalized our corporation about 14, 15 years ago to where we do food service, J&D, a big company here in town my dad used to compete in the meat business with. They now distribute our seasonings in 5-pound handle jars, from black pepper to garlic to tarragon to saffron, one of the most expensive
Come on,
spices.
you're doing saffron?
We do saffron.
Get out of here.
Chili powders, cumin. We do every spice humanly imaginable. And we now picked up most of the restaurants around the valley, and slowly but surely we're moving our way out into bigger other distributors as well. But
Well, let me see the saffron. You know why?
oh, I didn't bring
I'm
any
mad
saffron.
about saffron.
It's $1,000, $100 an ounce,
Okay,
man.
okay, let me see what else you got over here.
Chipotle. This is one of my
Ooh!
favorites.
Chipotle sauce marinade.
You'll love this one. This is a great story.
Beer marinade. I will
beer
love this
marinade. And we are one of the only few people, Valley-Wide Beverages, or Lou Amendola here in town. I buy all our beer from them. We pasteurize the beer, and then we make a beer marinade. And
What kind of beer, can I ask?
It's Pabst Blue Ribbon.
B-E-E-R beer.
It's the cheapest beer we can buy because we're just trying to use the hops and the yeast
Right.
to really
I feel
give
you.
a good flavor. But this was a college project of my brother's up in the Bay Area. Him and his buddies all got together, and
It looks good.
it really is. On a pork tenderloin, it'll absolutely blow your mind.
Oh,
blow your mind.
looks super good.
So we do.
Keep them coming there, Eddie.
Yeah. The other one that really I really enjoy is the sweet and tangy barbecue. Well, that's a citrus heat, but
Oh, citrus heat.
yeah, that's a newer item. It's very good on salmon, also very good on pork products.
Chicken, maybe?
Chicken, tremendous. Citrusy with a bite to it. The sweet.
This one right here, I think I'm going to inject next year's turkey with this.
Great idea,
At Thanksgiving.
Great idea. The sweet and tangy barbecue sauce is one of my favorites. I do baby back ribs, and next time I come see you guys, I'll be bringing you some baby back ribs.
Oh, yeah.
I
Cook
do
'em tomorrow.
I do them to where they literally fall off of the bone. I mean, in competition ribs, they want you to be able to bite into them and pull. Me personally, I like a rib that you can go like this, and there's just a bone.
It's
left.
just hanging.
Yeah, it's butter. It's like tender as could be.
I bet you barbecue a lot, don't you?
I do, and it's eventually we'll be getting into the probably tri-tip stands and things along that line. That's a new arena.
I'd
for
like to
us.
see a Pappy's food truck driving
that's
around.
I have an Airstream trailer that we're getting
Oh,
converted.
man, how fun would that be?
So really neat, but garlic herb, some more of the dries.
Wow, what is in this?
A veggie seasoning. One of my favorites, though, I'll tell you guys my favorite recipe. My favorite recipe is taking the prime rib rub, taking a New York steak, and I love New Yorks. Fillets, more of a lady's piece of meat.
Ooh.
But, for me, a New York, it's a man's cut of meat, right?
Okay.
And you season the New York with the prime rib rub, and I know the name doesn't really go for that.
Prime rib rub, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that point, you season it, you sear it on both sides, slow cook it, and then I smoke it the rest of the way, right? From that point, I pull it off. I take the chipotle sauce, I drizzle it over the top heated, and we were BAM before there ever was BAM. I mean, we're talking about this Emeril Lagasse, right? We were BAM. We've been around 29 years. He's
That
been
sounds
around, I think,
good,
around
doesn't it?
15, 16 years in the sense of spices and marinades. So,
Are you all
interesting.
around the world?
We're not. We're probably in about 28 states, and we're slowly but surely moving our way across. We're kind of old school. We're Greek and Italian. My grandparents were Greek immigrants on my father's side. My mother's full-blooded Italian.
I got to drink with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, we're kind of slower at things. We old school.
You like a handshake, huh?
Yeah, I do, and quite frankly, today it's not that way anymore. We were raised that way. Your word's your bond, and we've built our business around that. I have an 83-year-old mother. Oh, she's going to kill me. I have a mother that's still at my factory. She's there every morning at 7 a.m. Won't leave till 4.
Where is your factory?
Right behind Duncan Ceramics. You know where Duncan is
Uh-huh.
on Clovis and Shields? We're
Right.
directly behind him.
How big's your facility?
It's about 11,000 square
That's
feet.
it?
Yeah, but we have plans. We've drawn plans for 38, and we're about ready to expand into
That's awesome.
38,000 square feet
That's
sooner or later here. But
I see these gift packs here.
yeah, this is something that we do a lot of, you guys.
Can I open one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me-
Pick
which
whichever.
one?
Pick that
The
one.
big
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
Gift packs is huge during the holidays for us, but another thing we've done a lot of with the gift packs is car dealerships. So, for example, you
What's in here?
easy now.
What's coming down?
Scissors.
I think I got. Okay, I got it. All right.
But the gift packs for car dealerships. So
wow.
you buy a car from, let's say, like a Lexus dealership or something like that. We brand everything Lexus or BMW, and then that gets sent to the customer.
Nice.
You know, a lot of people send chocolates, but by the time in Fresno it's 112 degrees, by the time it gets to you, it's melted. This is a gift that keeps giving. You'll have that for probably about a year between all those spices in your cupboard.
Wow.
You know, it'll last you almost a year.
How long should you keep the spices?
You know, McCormick Schilling, which is obviously the biggest spice company in the world, say a year. Some of their stuff's 2 years. Me, personally, once you've ground it or broke it, a seed or whatever you're grinding, coriander seed, peppercorn, whatever it is, once you start that, it begins the death cycle. And in my opinion, about 6 months, spices do not have the same bang that they had when you first ground them. You lose volatile, you lose aromatic, you lose pungency, and you lose flavor.
And sometimes it gets a little old tasting.
Yeah, it kind of gets a little old tasting.
Stale.
It does, absolutely. And you know, the other thing about it, and we learned this from the weight measures people, my product goes out of my plant at whatever the weight says. By the time it gets to the stores and sits on the shelf for maybe 6 weeks,
Might settle.
moisture. The moisture comes out of it. So you don't have as much moisture, it doesn't weigh the same. So we've learned to overweigh our stuff now.
Awesome.
kind of a lesson we've learned. Like I said, we're very old school.
I like your recipe on the New York steaks. Why don't you throw out another little quick one that you have?
Baby back ribs. My favorite on that is sear them on the barbecue first. Get them to where the ribs just start to pull back. You take them, you put them in foil. You put them in your oven around 285, 295. You leave them there for 3 hours. You pull them out, you drain the juice, baste them with sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, put them under the broiler for about a half a minute on each side. And it caramelizes the sauce onto the rib. So a lot of people, you get a rib and you lift it up and all the sauce is falling
Right.
off.
It's cooked in it.
It's cooked in it. And then from that point, you'll enjoy the best rib you'll ever eat.
Sounds
Smoked tri-tip is another one I really enjoy.
Do it. Let's hear it.
I do smoked tri-tip, and what I do is I get whiskey barrel. I use whiskey barrel to smoke with. So I'll get my fire nice and hot. I'll take my wet whiskey barrel. I'll set that on the deal. But the first thing I do, and a lot of people don't realize this about tri-tip, and my parents were in the meat business, so I know it. You got to sear the tri-tip first. Hot
Lock
temperature.
in the juices.
Lock in the juices, and that's the seasoning is all going down into the pores of the meat, and it locks it in.
How long do you marinate it?
With dry seasoning, I don't pre-do it much other than 5 minutes before
with
I'm
the
ready
wet.
to go. With the wet, the beer marinade, if you're going to do a pork tenderloin, we have old-fashioned marinades. Let this thing sit for 2 days. Put it in a Ziploc bag, and I'm telling you, that will penetrate all the way through the meat. So neat stuff.
Is anybody getting hungry yet?
Yeah.
We do a lot of stuff with the Harris Ranch Beef Company. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Oh, yeah.
RC Provisions, a lot of the industrial cells to where we create things for them that go on meat products. So pretty neat stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool. Pappy's Fine Seasonings. It's so good to meet you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it,
Thanks
Chuck.
a lot.
I really did.
Now
Thank
we want
you.
to give away one of these gift packs
Absolutely.
here, right?
You're more than welcome to.
We're going to give away, what's this?
That's a 6-pack. All dry.
We're going to give a 6-pack away right now. Call 579-1090 to win your free Pappy's gift pack. Eddie, thanks a lot
Enjoyed
for coming
it.
on.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Appreciate
We're going
it.
to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on The Buzz. Stick around.